Let's talk about how you got to this position. You've worn so many hats, obviously, for the IDF. Now you're a private citizen, I guess you would say. But what an amazing background you have. Your parents were Holocaust survivors. Your mother left the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp weighing, I believe, 62 pounds when she left the concentration camp. General, talk about how that upbringing, the influence of your parents, what they went through. Talk about how it influenced you and your career path.
Yeah. Actually, I had great two parents, like we all have. They came from Europe after the war. Actually, they met on a ship that brought them to Israel, captured by the British again, sent to Cyprus, got married there. And over there, they've decided to found this village I later was born in and raised in
southern Israel.
In the southern part of Israel. I think that the Jewish history, as we all were born into, after the Second World War and the establishing of the State of Israel, really set a very strong, active Zionist education into us all. So it's not, it's something that you raised in it. You don't really, you hardly even talk about it. Look, the village I was raised in was formed of 75 families, all came from the Holocaust. So we didn't talk about the Holocaust, we lived the outcome of the Holocaust. I remember 1967, I was an 8-year-old kid digging a shelter in my backyard. In 1973, I was still not a soldier, but I had an anti-air battery, defending air defense battery in our backyard.
This is the Yom Kippur War, 67, the Six-Day War.
Yeah, Six-Day War of 67, 73 War of the Yom Kippur. And I was helping those gunners to protect the air base, which is not far from us. So, it was there. So one day I sat with my father on the grass, and he said, "Son, if we who build this country and you as our kids won't defend it, who will?" So this is how I entered the IDF, with this kind of message. I didn't plan to stay so many years. I figured I'd stay 4 or 5 years, maybe 6. And obviously I knew I'm going to go to the IDF and do my best, but I would say I'd go for 5, 6 years, and then every time the next assignment came up, and I said, okay, it's important, it's challenging, maybe I'll do it and then I'll retire. And all of a sudden I found myself 20 years in the IDF. So after 20 years, I said, okay, I'll stay in the IDF.
Yeah.
But look, it's a small country. Every place you throw a rock, you pick up something. There is a piece of history there. Everywhere you look, there is a story that you can tell yourself, that explain you what is it that you are doing and why you're doing it. So that was for myself, and we are trying, with the right adaptation and the right adjustments, I would say, to give it to our kids. Israel, it's not this only small country that hardly survived. Israel is a strong country in the region, and it will stay strong if our people will stay committed to Israel as it is right now, whether it's to defend it, whether it's to develop it, physically speaking, technically speaking, socially speaking. There is a lot that needs to be done here. But we, and I see it at home as well, we have great youth, and the next generation is better than us.